Yo, 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 everybody, this is your boy Is Nefarious, and I am back at it again. Last time you saw me, I was the New Orleans Saints in Madden 20 for the Premier Madden League. Guess what? We are back into the Premier Madden League. It took a little extra time. We're one season too late. We're already in season 2 in the Premier Madden League, but your boy is back in the game and back and ready to play. This time we are not the New Orleans Saints. As you can see here, we are going to be the San Francisco 49ers. And like I said, we're already in season 2, so there's been some changes to the roster. And yeah, I'm going to have to get acclimated with the 49ers this season and see if I fare better with them than I did with the Saints in Madden 20. Now we're on to Madden 21, so hopefully Madden 21's a better game for me. We'll find out as we, get deeper into the season. But hopefully you guys stick along and follow along, and let's see if we could do this thing. So first, we're going to talk about some of the changes to the team. As you can see, you look at the overalls here. We're an 84 overall team, 87 on offense, and 81 on defense. So let's take a look at why we're at that situation. We'll go ahead into the roster right here. We're going to slide through the whole roster and we'll talk about any new additions. As you can see, we got pretty much the same old with Jimmy Garoppolo leading the helm as our QB1. Then we got Nick Mullins as our backup and Joshua Dobbs as our number 3. I actually just signed him after the draft just to add a little bit more competition. Maybe Nick Mullins ends up on the chopping block when it comes down to roster cuts. Then we take a look at our running backs. We got Raheem Mostert, I believe. I think I said that right. But we got him, and he is blazing running back. As you can see, with a 95 speed, 94 acceleration, 90 agility, not the greatest, but his change of direction is 90. And he's absolutely a fast running back. I mean, this is probably the fastest running back I've had in all my years of PML. So we'll see if that helps. He's also a superstar, as most know who play Madden. He's got RB apprentice. When lined up at running back, plays with this ability have access to 4 additional hot routes during pre-play adjustments. I actually changed him in my depth chart. Before I looked at his abilities, I changed him in my depth chart to be my second option and Jerick McKinnon my first option when it came to passing downs. But now taking a look at that, I might want to switch that up and put him in third as our third down back, especially with that RB apprentice right there. Then you take a look at his other ability. He has evasive. So ball carriers with this ability have steerable, juke, and spin animation. So when I juke and when I spin, I have more control of him as he's within that animation. So that I don't know how that feels. We'll figure it out as we play. I haven't played a snap with this team yet, but he is 29 years old, so there's a downside to Mostert. 29, I'm gonna have to look for as a replacement. We got four more seasons, including this one. So he will be around 32, and I think running backs start to regress after 30, 31. So we'll see how he looks. Hopefully he stays the same, and we could ride him out throughout the whole series, throughout the whole cycle, and we never have to look for a running back. But we also signed James Conner out of free agency. We have no power back, so he's gonna get a lot of the goal line touches and a lot of third and short and second and short and stuff like that. He's probably gonna see the field then. As you can see, nobody really wants him because his 86 speed, but I think with his trucking ability, his stiff arm, and his power running, I think he could be a good asset to us, especially without having one in the backfield besides our fullback, which we'll get into, and you know who the fullback is for San Fran. Then we got Jerick McKinnon, as I said, and then we got a rookie that we actually drafted, I believe, in the 6th round, Ty Chandler. At that point, we already drafted our position needs, so I was like, you know what, let's go ahead and pick a running back here. What's the worst that could happen? He gets no dev, and I mean, I have Mostert, so I'm not really worried about it. So Best case scenario, he gets a dev, and then he's our future running back. He's our running back of the future. As you can see, he's got pretty good speed, 91 acceleration, 90 agility, 81 change of direction. So he doesn't change direction all too well. But I think he'll be a good piece if he gets a good development trait. If not, it was just a waste to pick in the 5th or 6th round, whenever it was. We're going to take a look at the fullback, and we got Kyle. I am not pronouncing that. I can't pronounce that. I've heard it on TV and I still can't pronounce it, but he is a superstar, so let's take a look at his abilities. So he's got a backfield mismatch. Running backs with this ability have better catch in traffic and route running when coming out of the backfield against linebackers and linemen. So whenever I send him out to a flat and he's covered by a linebacker or a lineman, I'm going to be able to have a greater chance of a catch and traffic for him. So that's a good little trait, especially if I want to use him out of the backfield. And then his other ability is Nasty Streak. Blockers with this ability will frequently attempt and win impact blocks against linebackers and defensive backs when playing in the lineman or fullback, as a lineman or fullback. So it says playing as a lineman or fullback, so I assume that this trait also is given to offensive linemen, or are they talking about tight ends who kind of line up on the offensive line? Not quite sure about that, but it's a good little ability. So what's great about him right now is he's got 2 abilities, both affect both styles of play for a fullback. So it affects him coming out of the backfield and catching the ball, and it also affects him setting up blocks for my running back. So that's going to be a great thing to have throughout the series. We have him signed, I believe, for a few more seasons. So hopefully, I mean, he's pretty expensive, but hopefully we could keep him around. Because I like those abilities, and if we become a run first team, I think he could really help, and also he'll help with the play action coming out of the backfield. Let's take a look at our wide receivers. So we made a big trade in the offseason. We acquired Mike Williams. So we sent over to Los Angeles D Ford, who was a huge contract. We sent over D Ford. We sent over our pick 11 in this past draft to trade down. We also, I think that's all we sent over, but we got in return Mike Williams, Kaiser White, which I'll show you later. He's a linebacker, and then we got the 2nd round pick of next year. So we got their 2nd round pick next year. So he's going to be big, nice big body at wide receiver for red zone targets to take a little pressure off George Kittle and stuff like that. So, and plus we had Deebo Samuel, not really a big body, more of a slot guy. So it's kind of a nice little 1-2 punch we'll have going with Deebo Samuel and Mike Williams. Then we got pretty much the same wide receivers, despite a few depth signings. We got Kendrick Bourne, we got Dante Pettis, Brandon Ayuk, Brandon Ayuk will probably be used more than Pettis or Bourne. So we'll see. Pettis might be on the block and be on the move soon. Then we signed John Vay Johnson, pretty elusive and fast wide receiver, maybe a gadget type guy where we could use him in different situations. Then we got Brendan Mack, who's another big body. Maybe we could convert him to the tight end if we use the Kelvin Benjamin camp, but it does take away 3 speed, I believe, so we'll go down to the 83. But there's a few options with him. Maybe we keep him as a wide receiver and have him and Mike Williams be our main targets in the red zone, with George Kittle, as you know, in the middle. Then we got Josh Palmer, a rookie that we signed in free agency. Decent little guy. We'll see. We'll give him a shot in the preseason, see how we like him, see how he reacts in the offense and how I use him. Maybe that's somebody on the chopping block. Look at the tight ends. We got George Kittle, as you know, 99 overall, absolute stud. Hopefully we could use and abuse him. He's got his abilities, which is he's got yak him up. So pretty sure I'm not gonna read the whole description, but yak him up is after the catch. You get a better chance of gaining more yardage. I believe. We'll just read it. The best physical receivers don't just come down with the ball, they carry it home. When they enter the zone, they are nearly guaranteed to break their first post-catch tackle. So yak him up. I was partly right, just guessing. But it's basically once he catches the ball, he's going to break his first tackle and add more yardage after the catch. And then, as you can see, he's got short and elite, which is receivers with this ability catch more consistently while catching passes less than 10 yards from the line of scrimmage inside the number. So little drag routes, little curls and stuff like that, stick routes, he's going to catch more consistently for us. So he's going to be a good option on third down and stuff like that. Then you take a look at Route Apprentice. Players with this ability have access to 4 additional hot routes regardless of where they line up. So this is going to be really, really good for us. We're able to, send them on corner routes, post routes, stuff like that. It's going to open up the offense a little bit. Hopefully, I can use it to my advantage, hopefully. Then we take a look at another tight end, David Njoku, a big acquisition and a trade. So I also sent a trade this offseason to clear up some cap. I sent Quan Alexander over to the Cleveland Browns for David Njoku and I believe pick 21 in this past draft. So I got David Njoku pick 21 in this past draft. I sent over Quan Alexander and I sent over my current second round pick. So that was pick 43 this past draft. So he got that, and Njoku's we're gonna have a 1-2 tight end punch kind of going on here. We could line up with big sets, and we'll have 2 athletic tight ends that could get downfield and stretch out the defense, even though we look like we're in a run heavy look. So that's gonna be nice to use going forward. And then we signed CJ Uzama. Not much to say about him. He's a very athletic tight end, so he's a good add. Then we got a blocking tight end, and then another young blocking tight end in Charlie Warner. So tight end seems to be fit. I don't know if I'm gonna keep Uzama or if I'm gonna keep Manhurts. I haven't really decided yet if I'm gonna go with the blocking guy. Maybe I'll keep 4 on the roster, but I doubt it. Then you're going to take a look at our offensive line. We got Trent Williams, who came over in a trade, obviously in real life. I believe it was in real life. So Trent Williams, you got a left tackle. He's getting old. He's expensive. Maybe he's on the move at some point. Then we got Lincoln Thomas, and then we drafted Elijah Vera Tucker out of USC. Hopefully he gets a good development tree. I would like to move him to right guard, and he solidified that right guard spot for us. Actually, I could do that right now while we're doing this. So let me go edit him and get him over to right guard. Lincoln Thomas, I don't know if I'm gonna keep him either, to be honest. So maybe he moves back to left guard once Lincoln Tomlinson is out. Lincoln Tomlinson is out. So let's take a look at our center. We got Weston Richburg. 78 overall, nothing too fancy. I mean, our offensive line altogether is pretty solid. Besides that right guard spot, pretty low overall here. I signed Jamon Brown just to add a little more depth. Then right tackle, our tackle spots are pretty much the most solidified. We got Mike McGlinchey, who's 26 years old. We actually just picked up the 5th-year option on him. He's a solid guy for us on that right side. He has pretty good run block, so he makes up for the lack of a right guard. So you can see especially with our elusive back, you can see us setting that edge and really getting to the outside with Mostert. So McGlinchey's going to be a key part of that. Then you take a look at our defensive line. We're going to start with Eric Armstead. After we lose D Ford, Armstead is solidified as that number 1 guy. Not really going to get subbed out. He's going to be that left end. Then we got Justice Reed, who's a rookie that we just drafted in this past draft with our last pick. Solid numbers coming out of Virginia Tech, so hopefully he gets a good development trait even though he's drafted in the 7th round. And I want to take a look at Eric Armstead's ability. As you can see, he's got defensive rally. Defenders with this ability will grant a bonus pass rush point to all defensive linemen on 3rd or 4th down. So on 3rd or 4th down, he's going to get extra points to every defensive lineman. Yeah. defensive ability grant. Yeah, so all defensive linemen on the line are gonna get extra power move, extra finesse move, and it's really gonna help on third down. I kind of like that trait. I don't think that was in Madden 20. I think this is the first time I'm ever seeing it, so I like that trait. It doesn't affect him; it affects the whole team, which is really nice. Then he's got swim club. Defenders with this ability will ignore 1 bar of blocker resistance when attempting swim/club pass rush moves. I don't know the in and outs about the bar and blocker resistance. Um, haven't really looked into that, but we'll see how that affects his pass rushing ability, especially on third down when a third or fourth down when he gets that other trait activated. Then you take a look at Nick Bosa, who's obviously our cornerstone on defense. 92 overall. He's got relentless as an ability. His superstar X Factor ability is relentless. The most tenacious defenders beat their blocks by sheer force of will. When they enter the zone, their rush move attempts are free. So I assume there's a cap for rush move attempts. So when he gets into this, he doesn't really reach that cap. He just keeps going, relentless. Makes a lot of sense to name that the X Factor ability. So he's gonna go nonstop with his swim moves, his spin moves, whatever moves he has. I would have to take a look at his traits, but I think he's got all of them. Then you take a look at his superstar abilities. Extra credit. Pass rushes with this ability are granted an additional maximum pass rush move point. So he doesn't even need. I mean, relentless is nice when he gets into the X Factor, but he also gets his extra point just by his superstar ability, so that's nice. Then you take a look at his other one. He has Speedster. Defenders with this ability will ignore 1 bar of blocker resistance when attempting a speed pass rush move. So I assume that's when he attempts a finesse move or attempts to just beat him to the outside. So that's going to be nice, especially if we're running contain. Being in the NFC West, we're going to have to run a lot of contain with Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, and who's the other? Jared Goff. We don't have to really worry about Jared Goff that much, but Kyler Murray and Russell Wilson we'll probably have to worry about. Then you take a look at our defensive tackle. We got Javon Kinlaw, who's in his sophomore season, 78 overall. This actually might be somebody. This might be somebody I put content into and make him into a monster. I like him. He's really balanced, good strength, good size too, 6'5", 319 with good speed, good acceleration. I mean, he's a beast. This is definitely somebody I'll probably focus on content-wise and get him up there. Then we got Jonathan Hankins, who we brought in for depth. Then we got DJ Jones, who was signed. We just signed this off season. He's pretty good, pretty athletic, and has good strength as well. Then we got Julian Taylor, who we signed in free agency. And then we got Quinton Bohanna. We didn't draft him. We signed him undrafted out of Kentucky. He's a big body, 6'4", 361. So, and he's got good strength. So he'll slot in there on running downs and stuff like that. Having that big body and strength in the middle will help. We don't really run a 3-4, so we don't need a nose tackle per se. But maybe Jonathan Hankins and him could be side by side on a running down and stuff that middle. Then we're going to take a look at the linebackers. We got Kaiser White. As I said, we traded from Los Angeles Chargers when we got Mike Williams. We also got Kaiser White. Very athletic, 25 years of age, so he's still pretty young. After trading Quan, we're going to need a linebacker to step in. Kaiser White could be that linebacker, and probably somebody I would use her. Out of the 3 linebackers I have, this is probably the guy that will be used more. Then we got James Crawford, just a depth signing. Then you take a look at our middle linebackers. We got Fred Warner, who's an absolute beast. He's got superstar. We're going to take a look at his abilities. He's got mid-zone KO. Defenders with this ability force more catch knockouts and react quicker in any midfield zone coverages. Less than 20 yards from the line of scrimmage inside the numbers, and 10, 20 outside. So 10 to 20 outside. I'm kind of confused by that. Inside the numbers and 10 to 20 outside. So hmm. So is it saying pretty much sideline to sideline? That's kind of what I'm getting from that. So him, but it's mid zone KO, so that doesn't make any sense. Less than 20 yards from the line of scrimmage inside the numbers and 10-20 outside. Hmm. All right, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Then you look at his other ability. He's got outmatched, which is really nice. Defenders with this ability are highly likely to win contested catches against running backs. So when it's a contested catch, he's highly likely to knock it out against a running back. So he's going to be covering a lot of running backs. When it comes to a contested catch, he's going to win that 50-50 on most cases. So his contract's up after this year, and he's gonna have to be re-signed. I'm definitely gonna keep him around. We got Cameron Smith and Joe Bacci, just a couple depth pieces. Then you take a look at right outside linebacker. We got another superstar, Dre Greenlaw, who's only 24 years old, so he's still young, and he's a superstar. So he's gonna get a lot of progression. Hopefully, he doesn't regress on us. He also has mid-zone KO, which Fred Warner also has. And then the other ability hasn't been unlocked yet. Maybe I sink in some content on Greenlaw because I want that other ability. I don't know what it is, but hopefully it's another good ability. As you can see, he's very athletic, 85 speed, 87 acceleration. So we got, we got a pretty good athletic core of linebackers, with Kaiser White being the weaker of the three. So he's probably going to be the one I use her. But then again, I'm not really somebody that sticks on one guy and uses one guy. I'm usually all over the field. As you can see, we got a cornerback situation here. We no longer got Richard Sherman. We actually lost a lot of cornerbacks this past offseason due to cap trouble. I wasn't able to trade Quan Alexander or D Ford in time to help my cap situation and keep some of those guys. So this is what we're rolling with now. We picked up Mackenzie Alexander for cheap, Emmanuel Mosley, Caleb Farley, who's the 21st overall pick. He was just drafted out of Virginia Tech. He has some good attributes, good base attributes. When I say base attributes, I mean physical attributes that can't be changed through content. So if you don't know, PML does content, rewards content with content points, which you could use on certain players on your team. Caleb Farley, he starts off with good speed, acceleration, agility, and good athletic attributes. I could build up the rest with content points. The man coverage, the zone coverage, the play recognition, press, all that good stuff I could build up with content points. So him being very athletic is a big plus for me. He's also 6'2", 207, and with DK Metcalf out there, we're going to need a big, strong corner that could also kind of keep up with him with speed. He's not fast enough. DK Metcalf still has the speed to beat him, so we got to be careful with that. But he still has plenty of speed to keep it respectable. He's going to be a big piece for us, drafted in the first round. So hopefully he gets a good dev trait and it makes my life easier. Then we got Brandon Williams, who we signed in free agency just for depth. Tim Harris as well, and then Mark Antoine Decoy, very fast, very big corner. Just somebody that probably I'll keep around just for backup options. I like his size, I like his speed, and you take a look at my division. We'll take a look in a second. You take a look at my division. We got a lot of fast wide receivers out there. Then we take a look at free safety. We got Jimmy Ward, who is still around. He's making $11.6 million, so he's making good money. I doubt he's going to be here longer than his contract. Maybe he's traded before his contract's up. And then we got Tarvarius Moore. He's got 94 speed, 92 acceleration, 6'2", big body. He's somebody that maybe I build up, and he could be a force at playing that center field role in our defense. Then you take a look at our strong safety. We got Will Parks, who we signed in free agency just to fill that hole that was left by, I believe it was Tart. Yeah, I believe it was Tart that was the starting strong safety. Now we got Will Parks. He's going to take over that role. And then we drafted James Wiggins out of Cincinnati. He's got good athletic ability. Just a shot in the dark. I think I drafted him in the 7th round or 6th round or something like that. Just something, to see if I hit or miss. Just a gamble. Hopefully we hit, and he's another one that, accelerates the growth of the defense. Right now, our defensive line is perfect. We really need our defensive backfield to get better, especially since our opponents and our division leader in the Seattle Seahawks is mainly a throwing offense. Like, he's very good throwing the ball, not really good running the ball. And that's something we looked at when we went into the draft. Then you take a look at our kicker. We actually drafted this guy in the 7th round, Blake Hoybale, I believe. I don't know how to pronounce that. But rookie, we were able to cut Robbie Gould. I know it's a shame that we cut Robbie Gould. He's a longtime San Fran guy. But at this point, we needed somebody cheaper, and we're not going to spend about 3-4 mil on a kicker. We'll take scraps for kickers. So we're going to go with the rookie. Hopefully he pans out, so we'll have him for the rest of the cycle. And then we got Mitch Wishnowsky for our punter, which doesn't really matter. But yeah, that's it for the roster. Let's take a look at our competition real quick. We're just going to skim through. So here's the Seahawks, the division leader. He's got Russell Wilson. You take a look at his wide receivers. As you can see, he's got Tyler Lockett, who's got blazing fast speed. Then you got DK Metcalf, who's even faster than TJ Lockett. And you take a look at, he's got superstar abilities. So he's got second wind. Players with this ability have a chance to replenish their stamina once per play when it is half depleted. So he's not going to get tired a lot. So he's going to be able to keep running those go routes on us. Second ability hasn't been unlocked, but it's only a matter of time before he gets that. And then you take a look at Tyler Lockett, 93 speed. He was actually on the block. And then he's got Philip Dorsett, 94 speed. So he's got a lot of speed on offense. Doesn't really have a tight end. And he does not have a... He's got Rashad Penny as his running back. He actually let Chris Carson go. And now he's going with Rashad Penny, who's not a bad back in his own right. 91 speed, 90 acceleration. Decent little back, 92 carry. I mean, he took a little bit of a hit, but not a huge hit. And then he drafted Rakeem Boyd, who's a okay back, nothing special there. And then he's got DJ Dallas. So the Seahawks right now are the division leaders, so they're the main... they're the guys, they're the big dogs. This is the big dog that you want to knock off. He won the division at 8-8, so not like he went undefeated, but this is the team you kind of want to counter. Then you take a look at the Cardinals. You take a look at his team. He's got D-Hop, obviously, but he's got Kyler Murray, as you can see, who's absolutely a blazer on the field. Then he's got Escape Artist, which is going to be tough to deal with. Passers with this ability are faster and more responsive to user input while rolling out of the pocket. And then quick draw passers with this ability have faster passing animations when they are thrown under pressure. So that's pretty good. Pretty good abilities to have, especially for a quarterback. You take a look at his running backs, Kenyon Drake, nothing special there. He did grab Nyheim Hines, who's pretty fast, so maybe he's somebody that he turns to as a 1-2 punch with Kenyon Drake. Then he's obviously got Andy Isabella, who's a blazer. Christian Kirk, who's also got a lot of speed in his own right. And then DeAndre Hopkins. Nobody really at tight end, nobody to worry about. Yeah, it's pretty much. I don't think he did anything big this past draft. He drafted Quincy Roach, who's pretty good, 86 speed. So maybe that's somebody we have to worry about in the future. I don't think right this second. Does he still have Chandler Jones? I don't think he does. I think Chandler Jones is gone, so that's why he drafted him. So he's gonna need him to develop quicker than usual because he's without Chandler Jones. So he doesn't really have a great defensive line. He doesn't really have a great front seven. All in all, I mean, he's got pretty good cornerbacks. He drafted Patrick Surtain the second. Now that I'm looking at his team, I'm kind of scratching my head at why he went that route. I mean, at corner he's all set. Don't really think it was a need. I mean, Patrick Peterson is getting old, but I think there was more of a glaring need on the defensive line than the defensive backfield. Yeah, he's got Butter Baker, Isaiah Simmons. I mean, he's got some good pieces in the defensive backfield. I don't think he really needed to go corner. He's got Lurker on that. So I definitely got to watch out for him. Mid zone KO and then stonewall defenders with this ability will frequently prevent additional yardage gains while tackling. So that's actually a good trait to counteract the X factor on George Kittle. I think it would. His superstar ability might even the playing field there. But that's pretty much the Cardinals. Nothing special that he did to really raise eyebrows. And then the other team, who am I thinking about? Cardinals. Oh, Rams. That's what I'm looking for. So you take a look at the Rams. Went last in the division. He still got Jared Goff. He drafted Kellen Mond to take over at some point, I assume. But he's got Cam Akers. He's got Devontae Freeman. I mean, nothing special in the backfield. Doesn't look like he's got a fullback. Then you look at his wide receivers. He drafted one with really good speed and acceleration, Tutu Atwell, 94 and 94. So he's going to be tough to stop, especially with Bashad Perriman. You got to worry about both of them. So like I said, there's a lot of speed in the NFC West. Same thing with the AFC West, but there's a lot of speed in the wide receiver core of the NFC West. I think I'm the only one that doesn't have the crazy speed. So we'll see if it works out for me. Then he drafted Kyle Pitts, good sized tight end with good speed, 85 speed, 87 acceleration, good catching ability too. So he's going to be a good receiving tight end for him. So that's a good piece. He drafted a left tackle as well. That offensive line is looking disgusting. Defensively, he's got Aaron Donald, who's going to be a force, period. I don't know if he runs 3-4 or 4-3. But I think if he runs a 3-4, he's going to be pretty set with Gerald McCoy, Michael Brockers, and then you run Aaron Donald. So I don't think he'll have any trouble if he's running a 4-3. Take a look at his linebackers. I mean, then you look at his linebackers, he's really got nothing there as well. So I don't know if he wants to run a 4-3 or 3-4. Either way, I think he's going to struggle at one spot because he doesn't have the linebacker depth and he doesn't have the lineman depth. Then you take a look at his corners. I mean, he's going to be set. As you can see, he took Richard Sherman in free agency, former 49er, and then he's got Jalen Ramsey. Richard Sherman doesn't have a lot of speed, but he's got great press ability, great coverage skills. So I don't feel like he'll get taken advantage of that much. Jalen Ramsey's an absolute monster, so he's pretty set. He's pretty set in the defensive backfield. He's got Logan Ryan, and then Taylor Rapp. Not really the fastest, probably a sub linebacker type. Terrell Burgess, and then he's got Chris Weststreet, 6'4", almost 200 pounds, and he's got 94 speed. Wow, I love to have him on my team. I'd probably content him up as well. I mean, he's really good with that height and that speed. You take a look at his strong safety, John Johnson. So he's pretty set in the defensive backfield. That's probably the strength of his team. But that defensive front the defensive front is good. So I mean, even if you throw in a 68 on one end, you still got Brockers, Aaron Donald. Um, then you got Gerald McCoy. So he's still got a pretty strong defensive line. So that's a look at the division and what we're set up for. Right now we're in the preseason. We're gonna look into our weekly training. This video is going pretty long as it is already. Wonder how long so far we've been 35 minutes in. So we're gonna take a look who we want to focus on. Caleb Farley. I don't know if we want to focus on him too much. I think I'll leave him because I need him to develop fast for me. Then we're gonna probably take Mike Williams out of there. Don't want to put in Trent Williams or Lincoln Tomlinson. We don't really have an offensive line. McGlinchey? Maybe McGlinchey? Nah, not really. We're not going to put in Armstead. Nick Bosa. We'll put in Nick Bosa. We'll try to get Nick Bosa going, even get him even better than what he is right now. And then Kinlaw. One Kinlaw. So we're gonna run those three. Then I'm gonna do the offensive game plan. But that's pretty much gonna do it for this video. Quick introduction to the new series. Don't know what I'm gonna call it yet. Right now we're gonna go with Striking Gold. Shout out to Cookie Boy who was helping me out with the name choice. So we're gonna go with Striking Gold. We'll see if we change that going forward. One last thing before I wrap this up. So I basically if you followed me last time on Saints Row, I took a low overall player in Kyle Allen and made him into a superstar. We are going to do the same thing this year, but we are not going to do it with a quarterback this time. So basically we're going to do it with any position, any other position. We can actually pick one or two, one on offense, one on defense. I was thinking Brandon Ayuk. I could build up, or maybe Brandon Mack, maybe a wide receiver. Either that, or maybe we build up Njoku or Charlie Warner. I mean, he doesn't have great athletic ability, so I don't know about that. I'm trying to think of offensively. Maybe we build up the right guard we just drafted, or the guard we just drafted. Maybe we build him up through content. So I'll let you guys decide. I haven't really decided myself, but if you want to put in the comments who you think we should build up through content, Justice Reed. My voice cracked there. We also got Kinlaw, who I think I'm going to build up no matter what, but he's already a 78, so it's not a really build-a-bear project there. Quinton Bohanna, maybe that's somebody, but I don't think so. I'm going to be running a 4-3, so I don't find a need for a nose tackle. Kaiser White could be that other guy to really solidify my three linebacker situation with Fred Warner and Greenlaw. We could have Kaiser White, Fred Warner, Greenlaw be really good players for me, all superstar, and really solidify that defense. Then we could do Caleb Farley. I mean, he's 73, so it's not as low. Maybe Mark Antoine Decoy, even though he's 26, he's still young enough. I mean, you're building through content. It does help to have a young player because you get content and you get to, train him and hope he gets better abilities. Maybe it's Tavarius Moore that I focus on. He's 25. He is on the older side. Maybe James Wiggins. I mean, we got a few options. So let me know in the comments who you think we should build up this this season, this cycle, and build into that new superstar. I mean, it's a pretty much paying tribute to the system that we have over here in PML and the content and the dedication to content. So yeah, whoever you think I should build up, please leave it in the comments, and then we'll figure out who's going to be that guy that receives all these content points. The new system is gonna help us with time because I don't have to build them up right away. Like I could save my content points and do it at the end of the season, so I get plenty of time to decide who's that guy we're gonna build up. But that's pretty much gonna wrap it up for this video. I appreciate y'all joining me. I appreciate y'all tuning into the content, and I hope you follow through the whole season, and I hope you enjoy every moment of it. I am Is Nefarious, and I am out of here.